It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
No fear, no fear, no fear. That doesn't mean there's not anything to be afraid of. We just know. Now we got to get prepared and prepped, and hopefully for the holidays you were able to convince some family members that, you just love them. And whatever you have to share with them over the next year, it's because you love them. And because if you're just doing it just to show off, maybe they just won't listen to you. So I just, and as we spend time with our in-laws and our family and so on, sometimes the questions come up if you're just not beating them over the head with it and they're digging their foxhole and packing up their sandbags, getting all defensive. They're just, other people, they got questions. So did they come to you with questions? Did they say, so what do you think about it? I remember last year and over the years and you said, and I'm concerned. Yep. Well, because I promised, we'll go ahead and finish this rant, that I was doing, and because it brings up a lot of stuff. And keep in mind, this is August that I did this. I guarantee, on average, you are worth at least half what you were a few years ago. Half. All the way. Yeah, we're gonna have to reboot it so that we get some quality sound on that. We'll do it again here in a little bit. I'm eating tamales. I wanted to do the video so I could have some of my Christmas tamales. They were yummy. That's another thing. I Viva la Diference. Here in Arizona, two of my children, of the two of them have Hispanic spouses or boyfriends and girlfriends, and that just expands my holidays. Cinco de Mayo, man, we get to have another holiday. We get to have a lot of different cuisine too. So we've added, as the years go by, I'll tell you one thing. My wife is from Pennsylvania. Those of you that don't know, you're in the Southwest or the South, you may have never heard of a pierogi. A pierogi, it's like a dumpling filled with cheese and potatoes. It's peasant food is what it is, but it's yummy. When you put buttered, sautéed mushrooms and onions on it and everything, that's become a staple of the holidays for us. Then, of course, we have the ham and turkey, and then we got the pasta salad. It was so good. My wife got it from a neighbor back when she was a kid in Pennsylvania. It was so good. We added it to, when we had our pizza restaurant, we added it to the menu, man. It was very popular, and I always had a fresh batch. I miss those days. Now I gotta wait for the holidays because it's difficult to make. So we have that, and then, and tamales. Tamales are difficult to make. It'd be hard to show you a quality version of it here, but it's like a cornmeal rolled up in a corn husk, and it's filled with, different families have different recipes of it. And then we had Andrea Garcia Friday. You may remember if you were listening, she came by and dropped off some gifts and some goodies. A lot of it was green chili sauce. I put over there. I'm going, man, I like the holidays and all this. Whenever I come across, after 26 years of marriage, whenever I come across a recipe, somebody has this awesome cookie. I have this one ginger snaps that, one of my clients used to have. I'm going, ooh, get that recipe. And, you just keep adding that over the years. And then, I'm going to have my wife do a cookbook. Yeah, it's a freedom cookbook. That might be something we do. You guys just send us all kinds. That was an idea that came up with Carol Paul, Ron Paul's wife. They were talking about doing a cookbook. I think she did. Something. I think my wife might even send something for that. And, we'll do that, but it's going to have to be, how to cook some possum. A pigeon. Yeah, that's right. We're going to survive. So, these are a lot of things we can survive as a family. Now, one of the things, one of the activists, a young girl, I don't know if she want me to tell you her name, but her initials are Alma. She's talking about getting a RV. She's, we're unplugging, man. We're getting off of the system. Here's a young woman. She's in her late 20s, early 30s, and just seeing, she has a good job. She's doing okay, but they're looking for land. They're looking for an RV. There are people that are paying attention. If you pay any amount of real attention just over the last couple of years, just what's happened since it's been defined and articulated and well detailed by Dr. Paul and a lot of the other agorists and people that are of the Austrian economics, it's inevitable what's coming. So those of you in Keene, I know you got a big head start, but a lot of people, they're around the country. They got their own little favorite spot they're going to hang out. I'd really, really, really like to stay here in Arizona. I mean, I'm not married to it. I mean, I don't have to be here, but there's a lot of things I like about it. And certainly anybody that's come and visited here, except for the 2.75 months when it's like you need an umbrella to go outside because of the sun, but for that, I mean, it's really nice here. Well, will it stay that way? Well, a lot of people moved here, including the bad guys. Came in from all over the country, California. We got Californicated. All the small communities in northern Arizona, a lot of people that knew how to take over small communities and turn them into their little socialist, communist, whatever statist empire, and that's exactly what they did. Now they have enormous debts. What's going to happen? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen myself. I want to make sure that we know that we're in a situation that hopefully we're not going to dig ourselves out of it in such a way that it's going to be like we're going to dig ourselves out of a hole that's going to be we're going to pay this off. I don't even think that's possible. What I do think is we're going to be able to have the ability to just at least understand what's going on. Now I'm trying to pull this one video up here while we're talking. And if we're able to be articulate enough that we can go ahead and just share with each other how we're surviving this thing, there's a lot of things that I'd like to bring up. A lot of things that I'd like to share with people. A lot of things that I'd like you to share with me. A lot of things I'd like to learn. Because we're looking at how do you build homes inexpensively, well insulated, a comfortable cave of some kind, and you get all the goodies that you want. We have friends that are already doing it, totally off the grid, living a very comfortable life. How much does it cost? What kind of reductions in cost would you get if you had people do it with you? This is the problem. And this is when we first started doing the Revolution. After that, a lot of people got excited about the ability for us to go ahead and start thinking about coming together and we can go somewhere and ride this out. But they were thinking, some of the people are older and they remember the 60s and they lived in communes and so on and different. You're going to have a libertarian commune. They're called families. As long as you're not made to stay there or you're forced to do anything, be as libertarian as you want. The problem is that I go, yeah, well, how'd they always work out? Well, there's always somebody that did all the work and somebody that didn't and benefited from it. So to have a libertarian-oriented place to survive this thing, you got to have property rights. You got to have boundaries. You got to have, this is mine and that's yours and a voluntary temporary alliance and whatever common whatever. And then when that's over, boom, I get on my side of the fence and you have yours. That's the only way I'm willing to do it. Even if I have people stay voluntarily, I have a lot of libertarian friends that say, hey, Ernie, when it goes down, yeah, we got a corner over there in the back 40. You can, hunker down there until whenever, till we kick you off. Okay, that may be a way to go. But if you're bringing skills, if you're bringing food, if you're adding to the pile, you're adding to the community, well, you're welcome. But what if you're just taking it away? Well, even when you're the most collectivist, socialist, whateverist, that doesn't work very long. Ask the retiring senior citizens when Obama starts rationing health care. Ask when they start devaluing the dollar but fix your Social Security income. Ask them how that works out. It doesn't. So we're going to try and see what we can come up with. All possibilities are open, and we're thinking about it, and we're going to keep sharing it with you. You guys stay right there.